James Tuschner with Ag Tire Talk here. I'm with Professor Mehari Tekeste. He's from the Iowa State Soil Dynamics Lab. And today we're going to talk about agricultural tire footprints. Now, the traditional way that it's been done in the past is just a flat plate. So they take the agricultural tire at max inflation, max load, and they put it on a cement surface and you get an area, right? We all have seen that in the data books. Mehari's doing something exciting. He's doing something different. He is using an artificial soil to get a more indicative footprint of real world. So why don't you take it from here, Mehari, and tell us what you're doing and really the results you've seen.
Sure. So at the lab, what we start measuring is a footprint on an artificial soil, ag tires, a different tire inflation pressures, different load. So what we found is when you measure it on an artificial footprint, you're getting two advantages. One, we found out that the footprint is higher, about 80%, than a hard surface measurement, what everybody was doing. The other thing is with the artificial soil, we are measuring 3D. It's a tire penetrated rut depth, which you cannot measure on a hard surface. Why is it important is doing it in an artificial soil. Our artificial soil mimics about 5 typical Midwestern type soils in its penetration or sinkage measurement. It mimics very close to a field conditions.
Yes.
And ag tires, when they are in the field, they deflect. Tire deflect, soil deflect. That's the thing that we're doing at the lab with the artificial soil. The advantage of doing it with the artificial soil, it's a repeatable test, and we've been using it the same consistent behavior almost 5 years now. We measured in 2019 and we're measuring it every 3 years. Its mechanical behavior is consistently the same, and it's giving variability within less than 4% in the footprint measurement.
So let me just get this straight. So first of all, compared to a flat plate, we've got about 80% difference in really the shear area because of the malleable surface, right? And the physical properties of the tire, correct?
Sure.
And the other piece of it too with the artificial soil is that it's a repeatable format. So it's not like it's one soil, Midwest, Eastern, Southeastern, whatever. It's the same exact every single time, and you can repeat the results, and you always have something that is consistent. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. I think our goal is going to be to replace with this standardized method, once it's adopted by the tire and rim, what we have in a hard surface. Because the hard surface is not a true representation of footprints with pneumatic flexible tires. Because one of the study that we did, we compared tracks and duals, R50, R46. What we found was when the tires are inflated to a field speed and field load condition, it had a 5% higher than 80-inch long, 24-inch tractor, okay? But if you measure it on a hard surface, the footprint was higher with that tractor. So what that means is when you measure it on an artificial soil, which is going to be standard once it's adopted, it gives the true nature of deflection tires and also deformed soil.
So really what you're trying to do, Mehari, is change the whole world from going from a flat plate format to come up with areas which everyone does differently, and you want it to be done on a malleable surface which is more indicative of real world conditions so they truly get a good perspective of what the footprint is going to look like.
Yep. One of the advantages that at the Soil Machine Dynamics Laboratory at Iowa State we have been doing is we're giving independent test data. So I think most of the tire manufacturers, they may be able to measure, footprint on a hard surface internally, but what we're providing is independent test data, just like a Nebraska tractor test do for tractor power rating. So that's the advantage of doing it is with our artificial soil, with our standard measurement technique, you are giving independent, and all tire manufacturers or any growers could take the data. It will be accepted by the whole community.
That is a good point, because right now the flat plates are done slightly differently by all different manufacturers because there is no standardization.